Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how I made the viral Taylor Swift AI cover of Life is a Highway, getting over 240,000 views on YouTube and 3.5 million on TikTok. Artificial intelligence is a controversial topic. Some people think it's going to save the world. Some people think it's going to send it to hell. But in any case, I'm going to show you how to make an AI cover today. That's all we're going to cover today. Hope you enjoy it.
What's up? It's Drake. First of all, what you're going to need is UVR, Ultimate Vocal Remover. I'll put the link in the description below. That's going to split your vocals and the track. Second of all, what you're going to need is Mangio-Crepe RVC, or another variation of RVC. There's a lot of those out there right now, so you can pick the one you want. Third, you're going to need a DAW or an audio editing software that's able to put all the sounds together.
Now that you have UVR5 installed, first thing you want to do is navigate to select input and make sure you have the MP3 or MP4 selected, or WAV file, whatever kind of file it is that you downloaded the song in, and then go ahead and click open. Also make sure you select the output of where the video or the sound is going to go. What's this process to the program? So next we're going to navigate over to where the model is. We're going to choose Kim Vocal 2. It's a very good model. It's designed specifically to solo vocals, which is exactly what we're trying to do. So if you don't see it, go to download models, and you may have to search for it in here, select it, and download it. So once you have that, you want to select it. Make sure you have vocals only selected. Okay. If it's compatible with device, use WAV. It's a lossless format, it's the highest quality, so I'm just going to be using that for this example. Then I'm going to click Start Processing. This will take a little bit. Make sure you have instrumental only selected, and we're just going to go ahead and do that. So now that we have the stem split, both the vocals and the instrumental, we can now get into the AI program itself, RVC. So if you have extracted the file, you've got it going, so you should see all this right here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is probably go ahead and get it started with running Go Web. So it's going to install some dependencies, things you don't have installed. That's completely normal. Again, you're probably going to have to install some things beforehand, like Python, Windows Git as well, Microsoft Visual Studios, but I will also attach another tutorial for a more in-depth tutorial on how to install RVC. But for the sake of this video, I'm mainly showing you the process that I went through with a little bit of tutorial mixed in. So let's say you're going to get unmodeled, right? I'll provide also a link to a Discord with plenty of models more than you could want, but there's going to be 2 files in each model. So there's going to be a .pth file, which you place into the weights. So you're going to place the .pth files into this list. So they're going to go right there. And then the index files go into their own file folder. So you're going to create, let's say you get another Taylor Swift model, you go in here, you create a new file folder, name it Taylor Swift, and then place that index file into that folder. So weights files you cannot name, they have to go right in as they are, but the logs you can name. All right, so without further ado, we're going to hop right into the program. I'm going to go ahead and double click Go Web, and it's going to go ahead and start up automatically. All right, so you should see something like this, and you may have a different variation or a different update or a different color scheme. So don't panic if it's a little different. But I already have the vocals already, or the models already loaded in here. So I'm just going to click the Taylor Swift one. I believe this is the one I made the actual AI cover with. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and I'm going to come down here, make sure I have that correct log selected. If it doesn't auto select, you can go ahead and click it right here. And then in this box right here, we're going to put the path of the vocal that we want to transform or we want to process through the AI. So we need to find it in our file explorer. So I'm going to go ahead and navigate to those vocals that we got. And so a quick shortcut you can do is Control-Shift-C to copy the path with it selected. And so then we're going to come right over here and paste it right in that box. So there's a lot of other features involved in this. I'm going to actually put Mangio-Crepe because I trained this model with Mangio-Crepe, but there's other ones like RMBP. Just make sure you're using whichever extraction algorithm the model was trained with, because it's going to be critical that you do so there. So the envelope input is going to be how much it sounds like the model, right? So if you put this all the way up, you may get a lower quality result, but it's going to come through sounding more like the model itself. This is going to be also somewhat important because it's going to protect those voiceless consonants of breath or breathing or higher pitched sounds that you don't want to completely ruin your recording. So we're going to go ahead and leave that at the default. For the most part, you can just leave all these how they are. And then here's the other important thing, the transposition. So if you leave it at 0, it's not going to change the pitch at all. So if you're going from a male vocal to a female vocal, you're probably going to have to pitch it up most of the time. However, in this song, he's singing at a very high pitch, so it works just fine in the same pitch without having to transpose it at all. However, if it was a lower pitched voice and you're going to Taylor Swift, you're probably going to have to go up, ideally a whole octave, 12 semitones up. So then you just put this at 12 for a whole octave, or 5 is pretty close, right? But there's still a couple notes within that key that are going to be off. So for the most part, you want to either stick to 0 if you can get close to the same pitch, or 12 if you have to go up. So then from there, all we have to do is click Convert. This usually is pretty good at not taking too long. So we're just going to give it a few seconds here. So my DAW or audio editing software of choice is going to be Ableton Live 11. But like I said before, you could use Audacity, which is an open source program, or you can even use Audition, which is a Adobe program if you have the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. But from here, it's really going to be straightforward. So we're just going to navigate to the 2 files we have, right? So we actually downloaded the audio from the AI program. We're just going to drag that right into here. Make sure it's on an audio track. Should be able to do this in any audio editing software. And then we're going to go back and find that instrumental stem that we got from UVR earlier. And we're just going to line them up like this. Okay, and now you could pretty much be done, but from here you're going to want to do some editing, you're going to want to do some playing around and just make sure everything is working properly. So, and then I will also show you some plugins if you do possess those, or if you don't, you can go ahead and skip. But from here, you actually could be pretty solid. You're just going to mainly want to adjust the volume, which you could do in any audio editing software. Not everything's going to have a compressor, not everything's going to have an EQ, not everything's going to have this or that, but you should be pretty solid. So let's go ahead and take a listen. It's already sounding pretty good right now. And the beauty of these AI RVC vocal conversions is that the models are trained with already processed vocals, so you don't have to do too much. However, there are a few things that we can do. So like I like to use some reverb on there, so we're just gonna get a pretty generic low cut on the vocals as we come to right here. So that's just gonna take out those really deep low ones. And then we're also gonna take a look at doing some compression as well. So like I like to use RVox. And we're just gonna do some very light compression, probably bring that down to about 3, maybe reduce our gain just slightly. And then we're gonna actually put a little gate on there. So if you can use whatever compressor you have, that's totally fine. But this is gonna get us sounding pretty darn good. And then also reverb. We can't forget the reverb because a lot of songs. So the AI does not actually get the reverb. So when it processes through the AI, it loses the reverb. So we have to place that back on, and I'm just gonna put a little bit, just a hair, about 3%. Let's see how we're at. And all these plugins, they're completely optional. I mean, you can just play around with it a little bit. That's the beauty of art, and that's what we can do in here. So I would just play around with it a little bit, put some different effects on it. I would definitely try the EQ. I've definitely put an EQ on here. If you have it, if you don't, it's okay. I mean, you could just pop it right on top, and it's really simple. What I also did was in the chorus, when they're singing together, I put the Rascal Flats from the original vocals. So I would have taken the original vocals and just trimmed down to the part where they're in the chorus. And then I also brought them in with her singing, because the AI kind of screws it up. So that's another thing you can play around with and just kind of fade it in, fade it out, right? But it's pretty straightforward. You just play around a little bit. And honestly, I had no idea this would take off. I had no idea people would be interested in it. I just was like, I'm just gonna screw around. I'm just trying out the stuff to see what happens, see what works, and just try something new. And lo and behold, it seemed like the whole internet was excited about it. This one, and then Tennessee Orange as well. That was another one that I did, and I had no idea people would be this excited about it. But then came millions of views, and everybody's asking, what do you use to make this? What do you use to make that? And you know, the honest truth is, it's really simple. And there's a lot of open source programs. There's a lot of people who make this technology available to everyone. But there's also a lot of scams out there. There's also a lot of these apps that are saying, you need to, this is how it was made. And they actually offer sponsorships to the TikTokers. They offer the sponsorships to say they made it with their app, even if they didn't. So they pay TikTokers to lie. I didn't take their sponsorship, but they offered it to me. And so this is really how it's done. It's really pretty simple. And I know there's a lot of controversy around AI covers, but I believe it's fully ethical. And I think it's very unreasonable to say that AI covers should not exist. I think it brings some life to the music industry. I think it brings some life to the fans who can hear their favorite songs sung by different artists. I think it's really cool. And it's putting some power in the hand of the community in the music industry. And so I'm in support of it. I love it. I think it's fun. And I think everybody should be able to do it and not have to get sucked into paying and not get sucked into these things, because there's a great community as well. It's just having fun. It's just trying this out there, experimenting with technology, because AI is really exciting. It's really cool. And I think everyone should have a chance to use this technology and get to play around and explore with it. So I hope you have enjoyed, you've enjoyed this tutorial and this little explanation of how I made this AI cover. So be sure to follow for more, subscribe for more, and like the video. Thank you. Bye.